How delightfully predictable. You strut about like gilded vipers in a garden of despair, dripping venomous lies, cheating the cause, and plunging your manicured claws into the backs of anyone who dares stand taller than your inflated egos. Congratulations, you've masterfully sculpted the public image of a movement into a tawdry circus of backstabbing gossip queens who couldn't unite for a noble cause if their Chanel handbags depended on it. Bravo, truly exquisite work. While innocent children are trafficked under the sanctimonious banner of protection, you're busy polishing your personal brand like it's the crown jewel of the Republic. How utterly precious. Newsflash, Your Majesties, the foundation of this nation is the family, not your following count. You are not the mission. You are not the victims. You are, at best, a footnote, and a footnote that's starting to smell like yesterday's scandal. How dare you hijack the anguish of shattered parents and stolen childhoods to fuel your narcissistic little spotlight. It's not just disgusting, it's a moral felony wrapped in counterfeit virtue. Shame on you? Darling, shame requires a conscience, and yours appears to have been pawned for likes. You're only here because tragedy generously extended you an invitation written in tears and courtroom gavel strikes. Yet here you are, treating the blood of innocence like background decor for your selfie empire. Forgotten already? Or were you simply too busy curating your highlight reel to notice? Consider this your engraved, gold embossed final warning, delivered on velvet with a diamond-encrusted dagger. Accepting fair compensation for actual work. Perfectly civilized. Whining for gas money, like a trust fund beggar rattling a Swarovski-studded tin cup. That's not advocacy, sweetheart. That's panhandling with better filters. To every grieving family who's had the misfortune of being represented by these couture-clad charlatans, please accept my most profound apologies. They are not the face of this revolution. No one is, because the genuine warriors have transcended such juvenile theatrics. We forge an unbreakable phalanx, elegant, ruthless, and resplendent in purpose, dedicated to one glittering objective, the total annihilation of the pedophile shielded, kidnapping cartel masquerading as child protective services. We don't beg. We bankrupt corrupt empires. We don't posture. We prosecute. We don't lose. We legislate their extinction. So kindly take your fragile egos, your petty betrayals, and your amateur hour grift elsewhere. The adults are dismantling a criminal enterprise, and we simply haven't the time for your reality show rehearsals. Step into line with class, or be swept aside with the rest of the garbage. The children deserve better than your vanity. The mission demands better than your mediocrity. And history remembers winners, not whiners in designer victimhood. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have a corrupt kingdom to topple. Carry on being irrelevant. We'll be over here, saving the future.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?
Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down. Fight for the children in every town. taking our kids every day. A child of and no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All get stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
What up, Tiff?
Hey, Darren.
Oh, hey, look at that. Right into freezing. Perfect.
Uh-oh, here we go.
What's happening?
Not much.
What'd
It's
you
just
think of my
freaking
video?
cold here. I love it.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I think you should play it every night.
Yeah, I think so too. We
Yeah.
should play it and play it and play it and play
Yeah.
it. And play it some more. I mean, people don't get, they just don't get how severe and how serious this cause is. And that's just a goddamn pisser. I don't know what it's going to take. What is it going to take? You know, we sit here day after day after day after day after day, and we pound this stuff into people, pound into what needs to be done, right? We give people opportunities, we give them information, we give them stuff that they can go out with and
We
they can
give them
actually use.
tools.
Correct. And these other advocates give them what? I don't get what?
False hope.
False hopes? I don't
Yeah, there's
understand.
nothing
I don't
guaranteed.
understand. No. Only death.
And taxes.
You're gonna die. That's you know what? But taxes are illegal. So
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like what are these other people doing? What are they when you guys go over and you switch to these other advocates platforms, what are they giving you? Besides a good horse and pony show. I mean, Dave Waggle is real as it gets. I tried to find dirt on him. The AI
Oh
told me I
my.
was an idiot. Grok told me I was an idiot for even trying to find something on Dave Waggle. They said that he is about as real as it gets. Even his record of Wall Street is impeccable. No trouble. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing he says is a
Wow.
lie. But yet he's under attack. So he's under attack by these people. We get under attack by people. But what is it that we're doing? Other than providing you with tools. Speaking of which, here's oh my god, what was the website I told you? We got a guest too, guys, by the way.
I don't know.
So we know that you're backstage too. It is was it Understanding US Law? Oh my gosh.
Something like
I'll
that.
get
You were
it. But
supposed
it's
to
one
send
of
it
the best.
to me and you never
It's one of the
did.
best tools I've ever found. I'll be perfectly honest. I think it's Understanding the US Law. I mean, this thing is freaking packed full of information. Let me see if it's on my history here. Man, this thing right here was.
Well, I want to go back to what you said a few minutes ago, right? Like,
yeah. Do it. Get on it.
first of all, the people that attack us, Dave Waggle, Mark, Legwick, Connie, and other advocates. God, there's too many to name. But anybody that attacks them on a real tip, it's because we really are doing the work, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. It's just hard to explain, right? But like when you're out here really telling the truth and you're not charging people for the truth, now you know you if people are helping you do different things, I mean that's time, right? And that's money. But
Mhm.
like we don't charge for our information. Now, are we going to charge if we do webinars? Yeah, because that we're taking time to put this stuff together and teach it to you so that you can physically use this stuff in a courtroom. That's different. But
Mhm.
just to talk to somebody and you charging them, or you're telling them that you can guarantee something, or you're making promises, that no. Even if a lawyer tells you, oh yeah, I promise I can guarantee to get your kids back, you better drop that sucker like he's a hot potato because he's lying to you.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's all I have to say on it.
No, that's the truth. You know what? You're absolutely 100%. That's right. Um, and the people that are out there, uslawexplained.com.
Oh,
That,
let me get that on my website. Go
let me tell
ahead.
you guys something. This right here, guys, is a tool for you. Merry Christmas early. This thing is freaking awesome. I was just scrolling around the other day. I was just scrolling around with Henry, and we were working on some things.
What's it called
And
again?
I came across this. on the app. It is called uslawexplained.com. I suggest you guys even. I'm going to put it up here now, real quick, and then and we'll get 1 second, dear. We forgot about you. Yeah, it's called the uslawexplained.com, and you just type in something here in the search. Let's see. Let's say, I don't know, void ab initio, and let's say in family law. Okay, now check this out, man. I know I spelled family wrong, everybody, but no fret. Feel wrong. So that maybe was too much misspellings wrong. So let's do that. Let's just go. We'll just, you know what? I know that this one works. So let's just do void ab initio. And guys, this is free. Okay. Look at this. Here we go. Look at all the stuff on void ab initio. I always try to explain to you guys what the difference is between void orders, void judgments, and things like that. All that stuff is here. It's got cool information that you need to do with stuff. I mean, this thing is awesome. But if any of you guys are looking at the void ab initio, which you should be, everybody should be paying very close attention to this. The one that I found that really helps here was the void ab initio, the ultimate guide to contracts and marriages that never legally existed. That's a good one. And then also void, the ultimate guide to legally invalid agreements. And then the ultimate guide to void contracts when agreement is no agreement at all. Like most of us, you know, we'll be back in whatever, you know, like the caseworkers are lying. They secretly got you under contract. And guys, that's void ab initio. But check this stuff out. You know, like, I don't know what you guys have for issues in your, you know, in your cases, what you guys have been researching that you haven't been able to find. Me and Henry were researching off the wall things, and this stuff was, this thing was pinging them back. So this is really good stuff.
I can't find it, so you're gonna have to send it to me.
uslawexplained.com.
I put it in my Google search. You just send me the address, please.
Certainly, Tiff.
Thanks.
I will do that, and I will also put it in the chat over here for you guys to check out too. Let me put, this thing is worth its weight in gold, especially for all you pro sayers out there, or sui juris people. You definitely need this tool. Boom, right there. See, Tiff, how this says it? It says uslawexplained.com.
Well, I got it now.
All right, see, you're in. So yeah, they got all kinds of cool stuff in there that you guys need to read up on. It's just awesome. We have a special guest here today, and this one's kind of this is really cool. She has a little bit of she doesn't have a language problem with us, right? There should be an ADA issue with compliance or CPS breaking news compliant with her. Has she been given all of her prophylactic protections? You know, being able to understand us so that way the playing fields are equal. I don't know if that's the case, if Alicia did that or not. Hopefully she did. But what we were told is that she can speak and talk to us perfectly. Just we can't talk fast because she has a hard time digesting it. So if you hear me speaking rather slow tonight and pronouncing my words as I usually don't, which I should, don't call up Tiff and tell her I'm doing drugs. It's because I'm trying to make sure that our guest here hears everything that we're saying to her, because her case is absolutely disgusting in the things that are going on in it. And there could be some information here that she finds extremely, extremely valuable. So, that being said, and then when she comes up, I want to bring out one more thing of something I found over the weekend that I want to play for everybody. But let's bring out our guest here. Ellie, welcome, Ellie. And Ellie, she doesn't have a problem with her camera. Before anybody says anything, this is to protect her, because she does have a lot of things going on, and she has a lot of dangerous things going on with her. But Ellie, welcome to the Tiff and Punisher show. How are you tonight?
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I like your sense of humor. I was laughing.
Great, cool. That's awesome. Because sometimes, you never know if people's thorns are a little too sharp for this, or if they're, you seem to be a cool cat, so I figured you could handle it.
I'm trying to grow my skin. I'm trying to grow some fat,
Yeah.
not to
Well, I
react. I
mean,
know what you mean.
you're from the other side of the earth here, right? So you guys from what I know about where you're from, I mean, oh my lord, I mean, you guys cold winters and wolves and nuclear plants blowing up. I mean, you got to be as thick as it comes. I don't think you need to grow your skin anymore. But you're here now in the USA, and what do you think about the United States?
Having lived here for almost 18 or 19 years,
Yep.
I'm looking at it as if I'm facing some flashback because I see a lot of communism starting to bud, and
Mhm.
our family is shocked because this is something we ran away from. This is something we had for 70 years. Although I'm not that old, but I was born in the beginning of the 80s. I went through Chernobyl,
Oh
nuclear
wow.
power plant disaster. We were evacuated when I
Oof.
was 4.5. I
Oh my
clearly
gosh.
remember the day evacuation in the dirty bus, lots of smoke, and we were going into nowhere. We lost everything.
Ah. Have you?
Then, yeah,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, it's
Go
fine.
ahead. I just wanted to ask you a question on that. I was just going to ask you, have you been back there to? Because when you guys had to leave Chernobyl, you pretty much had to grab your stuff and go. Correct? Like that was it. There was no like, let's pack up and do this. It was pretty much get what you can grab and you're out of here.
I remember that my mom and I just took off. My sister was evacuated with her high school, like those Soviet bureaucracy things. You never know what you're
Yeah.
responsible for. And then my dad, he remained because he was a teacher in a medical school, and he had to again take care of his students. So he remained. He packed
Hmm.
what he could. He sort of U-hauled, things. He got them on the like truck, and they came to, I guess we were evacuated to some Nikolaev, which is like around the sea. We stayed there like waiting for, it was like emergency placement, you know what I mean, the term. And then
Hmm.
we were looked for just to be given like a new apartment. And in the Soviet Union, it was still, it's Soviet Union, so it was like residency based thing. So they did not allow us to live in Kiev, where my grandma lived, because you had to go live where your work is registered to. It's this horrible stuff that we are probably facing, guys,
Right.
especially in New York. Who
Hmm.
knows, right?
Yep. Oh.
So yeah, they basically sort of commissioned us to live in Kiev region,
Mm.
and it was like Neko Woods, and I like was raised and schooled with a lot of convicted people's kids, and imagine what I went through. So I know what bullying is.
Wow.
I know what bullying is. And when our daughter faced bullying in America, so I'm just fast forwarding a little bit because I wanted to start from a different thing. But so, and then the collapse of Soviet Union, hungry 90s, newborn countries like Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Georgia, Armenia, and we all were so young, states, countries. We were just, we were starving. We were starving. We had nothing to eat. The
Oh.
shops, they were empty. We saw
Mm.
only plastic stuff being sold. I remember going back from school by bus, and the bus was not there, so I was waiting on the bus stop, and I had to kill some time and go into a store to see what's going on. So I saw empty shelves, only hangers, pins, like some maybe ruler, some stuff you basically don't need, but it was sold, like some vinyl plates. Who cares if you needed them? But I did buy
Mhm.
them, and I grew on that music. I just want to let you know that
Mhm.
I still appreciate what I have, because we had nothing. We were all wearing identical stuff because it was Soviet Union. It was USSR.
Mhm.
And we did not do that bad as my husband's family did in the 90s. They had to go out in the street and sell their personal belongings to make it for the day, to have some bread, some
Mhm.
loaf of bread. And sometimes they did not have it, so they had to share it with the four of them. So no wonder when this guy went to the university and he picked the stuff he likes. He likes IT. He's like Elon Musk, that tech kind of guy. And he opted for immigration. He got H-1B visa because he didn't want to starve anymore. And we got married 2006, 2007. He already took off, and the body shop, he found a job in Massachusetts, and I followed him with H4 visa. We started building our brighter future in Boston area.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then
Wow.
we had some insurance issues because we were like a young family. I didn't work because H1, H4 is actually, for those who don't know, it's like a tail visa, and you don't have the right to work. So he provided for both of us, and then we found out that the insurance was pretty pricey for the time. So I went to deliver our daughter in Kiev, and then we came back. Basically, irony of fate, we were coming back on November 4th, 2008, and you probably know what president was elected on that
Mhm.
day. Jesus Christ. And
Mhm.
so then the green card, that it wasn't easy. Then the
Mhm.
naturalization. Our daughter went to kindergarten 2014 when they took Crimea from Ukraine, and the first like period of phase of war started. She had it okay in kindergarten, in that Massachusetts school, public school, but the first and second grade she started to be bullied both by educators and by children
Mhm.
unaddressed.
Yep.
The principal did not talk to us for 2 years, and then when
Wow.
we hired an advocate,
Mhm.
we started, speaking up. We started defending her. They set up against us the entire school district, the town. Everybody were passing our house by as if we are like lepers from a ghetto. And I found out I was pregnant. It was the year of 17, and she it's a Bonnie and Clyde thing. We were running away from district to district because they didn't offer a school choice. So they spied on us. They sent resource officers to our homes. It's like a blockbuster
Mhm.
with selling and renting properties, with them just still doing that thing from district to district. And she was already entering her puberty. She got she ended up with these traumas, mental health, mental traumas. She was 10 and 11, and she already was trying to scratch and get manipulative, like this sacred phrase, "I don't feel safe," and the school were like playing with that. Imagine you going with your for instance 20 months old to like a inflatable like bouncy house playground, and then they call and say her name, she is not feeling safe on the bus, can come and pick her up. And definitely I run, I leave, abandon everything, I take my son, I grab him, we take a car and go to pick her up. She was very aggressive. She was getting manipulative. She already saw that she could play sometimes her games, and the schools are fine. We had police, we had 911, we had DCF calling us. At some point she was even hospitalized for being homicidal and suicidal. She was swinging paper cutter in a car where the entire family was sitting. So she was hospitalized for evaluation for 11 days in the year of 19, just before the COVID. They put her on Prozac, but it made her even more aggressive, negative. Probably she had autoaggression, which she tried to direct upon us, like blaming us, like for everything, like for coming to US, coming to Massachusetts. Eventually, she was also blaming us for coming to California, that particular town, Redding. But at some point, I figured out that I just can't. When you call the advocates, it's in Massachusetts, it's like mobile crisis group. I don't know if you guys know it. It's either purely Massachusetts or it's New England. It's like a mobile crisis. It's not like really 911. You call them, they come and they like solve the crisis. They, of course, they report to DCF because it's a minor, but at that time DCF was reasonable enough to just resolve it within a phone call with both parents. And they're like, "Oh wow, your daughter is truly out of control," but no charges, no nothing. But the second school was also like playing with that. They were pretty rude with her, because the problem is that she was growing up as a ADHD child we didn't know about, and what they were actually scapegoating her for, that she was being hyperactive in the previous school, the one that we ran away from. And instead of just like suggesting, why don't we get her tested, why don't we do this special ed, they just kicked her out to the corridor and blamed her for everything that was going on around her. So and it was from district to district. And one day she again said, "Oh, I don't feel safe to go on bus and go to school." I called these advocates again. I remember a resource officer just left our condo that we bought to get her into another district. They told me, hon, mom, you continue making these calls about your daughter, you better go recommend that you're facing like juvenile court, and you better declare her like problematic use, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to go to court with my 24 months old. And after all that, I was so stricken. And my husband just found a job that had forced him to travel, and the Beijing trip was facing us in 3 weeks. And I said, "How? I cannot. I won't be able to do it." Like the nursing baby. There were like a lot of Kiev property, war things going on in the background. I had to, rent a property, and being in the distance, people could use you. You cannot control your property. So, lots of things on the background. And I said, "You know what? I'm just going to Ukraine. I'm grabbing the kids. I cannot take it anymore, because I'm seeing the school mafia was already showing what they're capable of." So I took the kids. I went to a western city where my husband's sister's family live with young kids, and I found a private school we paid for. We found an apartment to rent, and she was thriving there. She was making friends. She was like socially, networking. And then COVID hit, and COVID locked us all down, locked us all in our apartments. And she immediately went on Discord and was looking for online friends. I had not the slightest clue that, who is, hunting for those fragile girls. And it was until the borders reopened, daddy, we were back and forth figuring what we should do. I really wanted to stay in Ukraine and for him to come back, but this starvation, this starving trauma, it got him, so deep for the I assume for the rest of his life, that he says, I don't feel like going back to Ukraine. I will not be able to have this kind of job to, realize all my talents, and I will never ever be able to buy this kind of home and drive this car. So let's just find another maybe state. Let's give America another chance. And he found the remote job in San Francisco. So we rented a townhouse in Bay Area. We returned with kids. It was really pricey. It was really loud, lots of construction in the Dublin, Pleasanton, San Ramon area. So we lasted for like 9 months until he found this house of one dreams in Redding, California, Shasta County, with like a lot of things we just discovered, like the shed, ADU, with a lot of amenities, bedrooms, IC internet, two waterfalls, a hobbit house, a patio, movie theater, pool table, arcade on the second floor. Like what else would you want, to dream about? So we thought that we found peace in that home. It's a rural area. It's like between, Sacramento and Mount Shasta and Oregon border, north I-5. So we thought that it would be like Eden on earth. So we did not even unpack. We closed the deal, and then the phone fire came in Reading. It was a big one in 2021. So an arsonist did it of Russian background. She just ignited a fire on Bear Mountain, and a lot of neighbors in our area, they simply just didn't make it. Our house is stucco. It was built with love, with the engineers, the sellers. They built it, and the beautiful garden and tool shed, and it's a miracle. What do you want, my dear? What do you want? I don't know what she wanted, but she started researching psychology and was looking for these diagnoses because she tried to explain why she was bullied, and she wanted to be tested for ADHD. Finally, she dug something in that psychology field, and immediately we went to Mercy Medical Health Center and we found a referral. So a local Reading psychologist tested her, and it appeared that she had ADHD, ODD, and then she was digging even deeper and she was trying to explain her negativity. And she got tested at the beginning of 2022, just a couple of weeks after or before the war. She got BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. They did diagnose her at 14. And she also had a head trauma in a Shasta Lake school on a parking lot. This is like, this movie with Jim Carrey. Do you remember the name? Like about this unhappy things that just haunt you? That movie? 33 something. Remember that movie? So she got squeezed by another car backing up into our car, sort of crashing. She was getting out of the car, so her head and her right calf suffered. But she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth, so she got off like sort of okay. But after that, she kept being on Discord, and we did try to find friends, offline friends in Reading, which is almost impossible. It's very rough. It's very xenophobic. It's even Americans, they just, are like whining, like it's so hard to make a friend, let alone, like immigrant teen with tons of mental disorders. But we kept trying. So she gradually within the 2022, including 2023, her haircuts became shorter. She asked for the magic pill. We went to Mercy, and then this Michelle Sager started seeing us in Mercy, and then self-referred to Children's Legacy Center for Resilience in Reading, which they figured that, but somebody told me that it's actually illegal to self-refer. So I know it's like just 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I'm telling you, but you have to actually live through this, because this is a child, a very unhappy, black and white child, with horrible low self-esteem, looking for herself, looking for her identity. And then she went, either Sager connected her with this LGBTQ server on Discord, or she just gave up on, looking and trying to hang out with Reading friends. But after that trauma we had, that even actually the principal never spoke with us. I'm not sending you back again to that school. I don't feel safe. So they gave us a few recommendations for local Reading charter school, and Phoenix charter was offering something that she wanted, like a hybrid, that type of learning. And she landed in Phoenix. At the same time, she started seeing Sager, and then she went on this Discord LGBT, like a lot of coincidences. And then she was like, "Oh, I'm getting rid of my female wardrobe. I want binder. I want to be called like at first it was like a unisex name. Oh, I want to have it changed." So the year of 2023, with Sager, stuffing her with heavy psychotropes, from lithium to Seroquel, and then she was speaking to this allegedly Mark on Discord. My daughter was becoming more estranged, and by the end of 2023, I ended up with like anxiety. I went to Sager. I trusted this, white robe devil. She also treated me like I almost became a veggie. I don't know. Maybe she had like this mission, because they kicked me out at some point from her office, when my daughter says, "Do you help LGBTQ?" And she says, "Yes." So she goes, "Oh, why don't you just leave the room?" And probably that was my biggest mistake, because I left the room and I allowed for them to speak one-on-one. And the year of 2023 became like the year of this indoctrination. And you know what? In Reading, we did not have these pride flaring flags. It's the reddest part of California. I did not see a thing. I did not know that this was going on. So when CPS took her, and I went on Facebook in one of the Bay Area's girls groups, they say, "Honey, this is a pattern. They do this." And I went on our duty. But let me get back to May 2024. She became very estranged. She hardly spoke to me. She was controlling our language. She, was demanding for us to call her he. But in our family, we speak only our native tongues, languages to both of our kids, and that's fundamental. So I even stopped using past tense in Russian, because verbs, they have personal endings showing, like, you ate. Did you eat, like a girl or a boy? So we lived in a nightmare. She was cursing, she was swearing, she was like trying to split me and daddy, demanding to sign testosterone consent from both of us, and having all that stuff, going on with her identity, with her self-rejection stuff. I said, I want you to make an informed decision. I want you to be aware. And I don't want to even, you could see her artificial tears, and, these this transgender cult methodology statements, like I was born in the wrong body. That was so synthetic. That was so artificial, that I, not knowing what was going on in that, that community, in that teen society, I felt something wrong was going on. And then when she saw, that was not going to work, not from Sager's office, from CLC, June 3rd, 4th, a social worker comes to our porch, hiding her car, looking like a solicitor, no badge ID, no court paperwork. She immediately starts accusing me on our porch, seeing that both cameras are pointed at her on the porch. So I immediately start to have this physical reaction. It's pretty naturalistic. I don't want to explain, but I immediately had something which prevented me even from staying on the terrace. So I go grab my husband. He was on a meeting, and I went to and dashed into my daughter's room, like, say, did you call? Did Sager call? Who called? And it was, summer vacation, and she was glued to her computer. She was, browsing her mouse, and she did not look at me. At some point, she screamed at me, "Get the fuck away from my room!" And like in such a hysteric screaming. So I returned to the like our like living room, and I see this social worker Nelson. She's standing there, and my son is playing next to her with his new train set from Lego. And my husband was getting down immediately. He was on the meeting, he was working, and he got Nelson out of the home. He said, let's just go and talk. And I took my son. I covered him. We went to the bedroom, and we were like waiting what was going to happen. So Nelson provoked my husband at all time on physical aggression. That never happened. The cameras recorded everything, and I testified on record, and I did the transcript. He 5 or 6 times he demanded to be provided with the court paperwork, and Nelson never had it. She says, "Oh, let me give you the phone number of my agency. They will call you back." He said, "That's BS. Just give me the effing court paperwork. I don't believe you." And she did not even bring LA officer. So he had her call one. And guess what? 8 cop cars came. 8 to pick up one single child and accompany her to emergency placement. He lied in his sheriff report I received back in last November. That was all crappy lies, saying I was yelling, I was just like cursing. I was, they work with them. I did not know a thing at that moment. So we returned to her bedroom. We saw that she left her computer unlocked. She left barefoot to follow Nelson, because Nelson stayed where she parked. The car was turned around in the direction of the gate. So she had planned the escape. Nobody ever parked like that in our driveway. So she on camera told our daughter, "I cannot legally drive you. You have to follow me till the end of the property." And our daughter went barefoot. And we have like rocks, sharp gravel surrounding our home. And our daughter was known for her, pain fear. She did go barefoot. And when my husband came and said, "Look, she's leaving home barefoot," I grabbed her flip-flops, her socks, I put them into her direction. But before that, I saw the indoctrination running on her Discord chat that was like live. And this Mark Moo, he was instructing her to leave home, to file against us with all possible ways to find the best way to file emotional abuse. He spoke as if he was like a CPS worker or something. It was horrible. So when we, came back with flip-flops, I got pretty emotional, and I said, grab your shoes, take your socks, and leave. I cannot take this anymore." I got pretty emotional. I did not curse. I did not insult anybody, but we got pretty emotional. We were exclaiming. So we let her go, because on that screenshot, she told Marky Moo, "I have the urge to either hurt myself or my parents, but then they're right about me." So we let her go. And the next day, in 3 days, the nightmare started. Detention hearing, everything is substantiated. Reunification 12 months. Visitations in the KGB interrogation rooms with stained rugs, no windows. Two Gestapo workers doing this supervision description with tons of lies, slandering, blackmailing us to speak English, judging us by our Ukrainian culture, language, religious beliefs. The judge signed the amended petition last September, saying that we are culturally unfit to raise our daughter in modern American values, meaning that we are not affirming. And our daughter was giving a lot of information about the foster home, which coincidentally is the home of her classmate's mother. that she does this foster glitter care business, packing their home with 6 kids with severe mental traumas, including our daughter. They placed her in the same bedroom with their son, so she could sleep, you know what I mean, on the bunk bed with their son. Coincidentally, the caretaker.
That sounds like a very complex and concerning situation involving the student, her mother's business.
He is a school board member of the district that finances this school where the classmate sleeps with my daughter. That's a ring. That's a ring. The judge Bigelow covers everything. When they saw that she was speaking more than she probably should have about Maggie and Walter, the Glitters, allowing her to watch late night shows with herself and the kids, that they absolutely allowed her to have access to sharp objects. And she did cuts, she did self-harm in their care. CPS never cared an F about it. At least twice documented to our knowledge. Imagine what's going on without them even reporting that. So when they heard that she was leaking this information, they switched on horrible alienation. After her birthday, we hugged her. That's the last time, beginning of October, she made eye contact with us. She took things from our hands and she responded to us. After that, 13 or 14 court hearings without the ability to open up our mouths. Me being on the stand for 15 hours. A big name attorney hired. We fired eventually because we suspect ex parte communication. We had 3 lawyers. Now we have only one we trust. The judge took off all emotional abuse allegations February 3rd. Of course, we are in khaki index. Nobody is even willing to get us out of it. Although February 3rd, the judge did not give us our daughter. She did keep the jurisdiction for 45 days, taking off all emotional abuse allegations. And those 45 days ended August 29th, when the home maintenance with CPS oversight court order was ruled on. And meanwhile, the domestic violence restraining orders and emancipation petition with forged documents, we are working with a handwriting specialist because they filed a few domestic violence restraining orders. We see that the handwriting, our daughter's signatures that allegedly she filed and signed, they don't fall together, they don't coincide. So after that, with the domestic violence and the judge signing them and granting them a hearing in a month, I took my son and I went into nowhere from California. My husband remaining, putting the house on market. And then he joined us in beginning of October. Right now, we are hiding in a red state. We are not disclosing our address, although our attorneys and CPS were pressurizing us to be able to grant us the J180 for us, to go to us. But we said no home maintenance ever since, guys. No CPS oversight. This case should never even have existed. They just took her. They rammed us for around some amount of money. We could have bought another home already with expert fees, travel cost, room and board, everything. We were made homeless. We were made our daughter calls us by your parents, Mr. and Mrs. She says we are not a safe place. She's absolutely their megaphone. They played with her psychotropes. They called Turkey. They messed up and canceled their clinic, CPS clinic in Reading, Children's Mental Health, with their Lindsay Bloom, who sold her soul to CPS, just prescribes anything she wants. But after February 3rd, the judge ruled that she could go to a facility we paid for in South Cal. It's BNI treatment facility, like a glossy, chic, posh facility for teens. You can Google it. It's in Calabasas, California, with a horrible DEI woke therapist. And CEO is a psychiatrist who, for our money, blocked our communication with themselves and our daughter. It's like it's on every step when CPS puts their fat feet on the threshold of a facility, they immediately stop talking to us. We had Mercy Family Health Center, January, they ambushed the well child visit, allowing the caregiver to sign the consent instead of us for our money, for our private insurance. They did surround us with security guards. They did not allow us to be in the examination room. They kicked us out to the lobby. The caregiver and CPS workers, the Peggy, were there. And that's the nightmare we've been living. And we're hiding, we're fearing for our safety, for the safety of our 8-year-old. So I'm homeschooling him. Everybody
So,
works with them.
so how old is your daughter now?
17.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm going to tell you right now. When my daughter hit me at 15, I put her ass out. You got to go. You big enough, you're grown enough to hit me. You're grown enough to live on your own. I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would sign those emancipation papers because in 1 year, she's legally an adult anyway, and there's nothing you can do. I would sign the emancipation papers. That means you all stop paying for everything. She's on her own. Let her go. Let her go. I know
It
that's
was
hard to hear,
it
but
was
I'm telling
denied
you.
last Monday. The emancipation was denied last Monday.
Well, of course it was,
They
because if they emancipate her, then the state can no longer collect money off of her.
Right, right. So they filed 387 and the judge granted it. So they redetained her. And the next hearing is December 7th or 8th. And we're going back to the same juris and dispo in rounds. Having lost all that, our house is on market and we are renting somewhere and sleeping on the mattresses, not sleeping at all, not feeling the taste of food, fearing that a neighbor can do something, can pick up the phone, but luckily, hopefully, we are in a red state. It's just that it's gotta stop, guys. We are Ukrainians and we came here for a brighter future, and we are
Mhm.
in commie clutches, and it doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good that Newsom would not sign any more bills. Are you aware that AB 495 was signed by him, the recent one? Unattended
Other,
youth,
yeah.
that any stranger from the street can sign an affidavit for the unattended use without even a background check, without anything, that basically they will have a lot of work from January or April 1st, like loads of work for CPS to do,
Mhm.
to catch kids on the streets.
So, have you reached out to the Ukrainian government, because wasn't she born in Ukraine?
She has two citizenship. Zelensky is pretty much Biden's little sucker. He has turned Ukraine into something that's already in California. Pride marches are there. Gender creative stuff is being pushed onto first graders and second graders. They are drowning in the war. What are we talking about? They are doing corruption on the blood and bones of the soldiers. I just read the news as I was waiting for our show to start. More and more corruption and gas and casino business dealing with Russia at this point. Zelensky's surrounding is so corrupt. The only thing that Ukraine is able to do is just do something as you guys are doing right now, granting me some podcasts, both in Kharkov, in other towns, or in the US audience. So tomorrow I'm going live with another guy who also did a show with a mom from Azerbaijan who lost her daughter forever. Her daughter faced the same thing. The CPS took her, but she was just older, and she was turning 18. Like only one hearing she had, and they also filed emancipation. So they took her, and then she turned 18. She went on testosterone, and then she committed a suicide, overdosing Benadryl and Tylenol a year ago. So my dear friend, who actually gave me shelter when I was leaving California at the end of August. She showed me that vinegar container full of needles she is going to keep forever as an evidence. We stayed, like, she became my sister, so she knows what I'm going through. I never saw her before, but she went through the same thing. But she lost her daughter forever. She just marked the first anniversary, and she just had the gravestone put up in the Muslim cemetery in Connecticut and Simsbury. That's what they get. Happiness.
This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. I want you to stay in hiding. Do not take do not take your son to any court hearings, period.
Oh, no. We do virtual. By the way, do you know that they did not even, our attorneys who we fired, the big name attorney who is shouting against transgender, but she did not even allow me. She said, the judge is good. I like this judge. Don't pose. Don't say vile things about the judge. But as a matter of fact, she did not even allow me to be present virtually on a DV hearing. So the judge basically denied the DVs, but she denied them with no prejudice, praising our child using male name in the courtroom for these 19 months, calling her male name, basically socially transitioning her and saying, oh, male name, you are so smart, young person for filing on your own, meaning like, come on, keep doing, hon. You know what I mean? After that, I'm like, mafia. The big mama holds the mafia entire county. And nobody wants to hear a shit. Everybody's demonized us. All neighbors blocked us. Nobody wanted to have play dates with my son or invite him to a birthday party. The school was looking at me as if I'm, you know what I mean? It's just insanity. And we had no chance. We were facing no opportunity in this Reading, in this. I don't know, honestly. I lost my trust in the justice. Yes, I am looking for a civil rights attorney who will file against the school. The school started sending threats last Friday. We posted truth. And they started sending threats through the attorney, very unprofessional letter. I was busy this morning. We have a paralegal who helped us. We wrote really great response, but they just act like, like these Putin bandits, like these cheap bandits from the street, like from around the corner, like, with these little knives, like, wallet or life, you know what I mean? Like they catch you on bluff. But we have brains. We have masters. Both of us. We are able to use grok. We are able to use our analytical minds and critical thinking, but our daughter is not. She has dependency issues. She's absolutely indoctrinated. She trusts that we are criminals, that what she said on the testimony and last emancipation hearing, that she will self-harm if she comes back home, that we're not a safe space, that she started calling us Mr. and Mrs., that she is surrounded by the supports, that we are going to isolate her from those supports, that basically did not even provide her with a room, with a desk, with a bookshelf, with the scales to get her weight measured. She turned anemic. After February 3rd, emotional abuse allegations were removed. It's the facility that upon entry, you're supposed to get the blood work done. And guess what? In July, I received a Quest bill, a very first bill I've never seen in my life, with no services description. So I went ahead and I called Quest saying, what's going on? What did my child, get tested for? And they say, hormone pregnancy confirmation. She left virgin. So ACG, you know what it stands for. So basically, we also sneaked an email. We were able to get into our private insurance, and we saw her claims and pharmacy. Guess what? Probably STD. probably definitely birth
Yeah.
control with iron, and maybe an abortion. Maybe an abortion, because there was an emergency
Wow.
visit to an ER while she was in BNI. Nobody told us about. It's my husband's private insurance claims saying that she had an emergency visit, and we're like, "What's going on?" So the guardian ad litem, Annika Stokes, told my attorney that she had a female sexual health visit on April 4th. Come on. It's,
Hmm.
I know it's too much to digest, but we had to live through all that within 18-19 months, including now. They are not saying anything. So we, before this hearing last Monday, we included every attorney. We said, is she pregnant? Did she have STDs? Did she do an abortion? It's like a yes or no question. Of course, nobody returned that thing. You can refer to California laws, blah 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 blah, 12 plus. We are not to disclose all the reproductive health information. But guess what? The parents are punished. The parents are liable for paying for that crap, but the parents are not entitled to even know about the crap they're supposed to be paying.
Hmm.
That's the brighter future we found in Redding, Shasta County. CPS, Phoenix Charter, Mercy Family Health Center, they kicked us out from the Mercy Health Center when we did not catch on their ambush on a well child visit January 8th. And they denied our medical health, medical care. So they kept our daughter, but they kicked us out because we did not bend. Everybody works with them. I'm having everybody investigated, but I'm just getting those declines. OCR, ombudsman, the foster care ombudsman, OCR, California Association of Social Workers, National Association of Social Workers. Nothing. The board refused to, investigate this DEI woke therapist from BNI because it's mental health.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
I'm like reading a book here on your stuff. Holy smokes.
Wow.
We did not lose our educational and our medical rights, but that's in theory. At every step, we had to prove we have them. Even at a separate court hearing, had to be called to clarify our medical rights.
Hmm.
The school, the principal, they're not even talking to us. They are not releasing her records, including internal emails. Guess why? Because the school counselor socially transitioned her, and because Walter Albert is the caretaker and who sits on the school board feeding the Phoenix Charter Academy. It's like mafia, like circles. I just love it. Like because I'm just commenting on Deidre Payne. She's like, because we haven't lost your rights. We lost our rights, not losing them. Because CPS, they can do everything because they can.
Well, I want you to update us after your next court date. Because
December,
Yeah.
beginning of December. We don't want to testify. Our attorney, who we left, who we kept, because we trust her. She was the only one who is like a badass, and she wrote all these memos and briefs and declarations. So she requested that contested hearing, but we are so drained. So we are writing like a declaration that we want somebody, either us or someone, maybe her, to read out loud those things that the other two ignored or failed to address some things, and just put it in a nice legal style. And just because we are not going to work with them, we are not. They're stalking us. They try to get into our Shasta County CPS support group for parents. We are running. We are helping people. We want to go to Congress to testify. We want to unite parents and activists. We want to get closer to Francesca and Meg Stand. It's just that it's so hard because it's very hard. We need big media to answer me, because I was trying to go to Daily Wire. I tried to bombard Fox and who not, to speak about it. I just did the SpaceX yesterday with Rodin Painter, 3 hours, lots of people tuned in, and they're helping me get connected to Gays Against Groomers, and maybe Harmeet Dillon, maybe some other legislators. It just has to stop. These horrible crook judges, they've got to lose their goddamn immunity. The CPS must be exposed, held accountable, and the parents should stop being just muzzled. I went to the clerk of Superior Court Shasta, and I scared the shit out of her when I asked, "Can you provide me a copy of the gag order everybody is referring to?" She goes, "What?" Okay, I'm repeating. Can you provide me a copy of a gag order everybody is referring to? Because my attorneys, they never even gave me one, because there is no one. And then she beat all the charts. She said, you can just look it up. I'm like, what? You look it up? They use it against parents. They use it against parents. They don't know what they're using. And the parents trust that.
No.
No.
I gotta jump off. I'm dealing with an
we
issue.
gotta go. And then Sharon. Is Sharon coming on tonight? Right? Is she coming?
I
on
don't
tonight?
know.
I think we have a show right after this. To be honest.
Okay. Well, keep us updated because I want to know what happens at your next court hearing.
Please
Ellie,
make it viral, guys. I like you so much. I like your style.
Thank you.
Make it viral. Let's reach Trump. Let's reach RFK. Let's reach Pam, Cash, Dan. I wrote to all of them. Melania, I wrote all of them certified. Of course, zero response. Let's make it viral. Everybody, thank you for joining in. I'm sorry, I overloaded you. It's like the iceberg I told you about. It's just a tip of an iceberg we went through.
It sure is. It sure is. So please, thank you so much, Ellie. And guys, we'll be back tomorrow, same time and same place.
Thank you.
Strut about like gilded vipers in a garden of despair, dripping venomous lies, cheating the cause, and plunging your manicured claws into the backs of anyone who dares stand taller than your inflated egos. Congratulations, you've masterfully sculpted the public image of a movement into a tawdry circus of backstabbing gossip queens who couldn't unite for a noble cause if their Chanel handbags depended on it. Bravo, truly exquisite work. While innocent children are trafficked under the sanctimonious banner of protection, you're busy polishing your personal brand like it's the crown jewel of the Republic. How utterly precious. Newsflash, Your Majesties, the foundation of this nation is the family, not your follower count. You are not the mission. You are not the victims. You are, at best, a footnote, and a footnote that's starting to smell like yesterday's scandal. How dare you hijack the anguish of shattered parents and stolen childhoods to fuel your narcissistic little spotlight? It's not just disgusting, it's a moral felony wrapped in counterfeit virtue. Shame on you? Darling, shame requires a conscience, and yours appears to have been pawned for likes. You're only here because tragedy generously extended you an invitation written in tears and courtroom gavel strikes. Yet here you are, treating the blood of innocents like background decor for your selfie empire. Forgotten already? Or were you simply too busy curating your highlight reel to notice? Consider this your engraved, gold-embossed final warning, delivered on velvet with a diamond-encrusted dagger. Accepting fair compensation for actual work. Perfectly civilized. Whining for gas money, like a trust fund beggar, rattling a studded tin cup. That's not advocacy with better filters. To every grieving family who's had the misfortune of being represented by these couture-clad charlatans, please accept my most profound apologies. They are not the face of this revolution. No one is, because the genuine warriors have transcended such juvenile theatrics. We forge an unbreakable phalanx, elegant, ruthless, and resplendent in purpose, dedicated to one glittering objective, total annihilation of the pedophile shielded, kidnapping cartel masquerading as child protective services. We don't beg. We bankrupt corrupt empires. We don't posture. We prosecute. We don't lose. We legislate their extinction. So kindly take your fragile egos, your petty betrayals, and your amateur hour grift elsewhere. The adults are dismantling a criminal enterprise, and we simply haven't the time for your reality show rehearsals. step into line with class, or be swept aside with the rest of the garbage. The children deserve better than your vanity. The mission demands better than your mediocrity. And history remembers winners, not whiners in designer victimhood. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have a corrupt kingdom to topple. Carry on being irrelevant. We'll be over here, saving the future.